All right, we are going to cover in this video the features of the essential chart trader tools. So our enhanced chart trader is what you see over here on the right side of the screen. It's completely rebuilt, utilizing some standard NinjaTrader features, but also adding a bunch more features. So this is redesigned from scratch, and the goal with this and all the other modules is to literally create anything a user could want to place and manage their trades from the chart window, which is the way it should be, right? Because ultimately we're looking at the charts to make our decisions, so we might as well be placing all of our trades on the charts. So let's go ahead and cover this from beginning to end. I'm going to try and just show you guys what's going on here. So first of all, the order display. We've improved the display of the orders for easier trade management and giving you relevant information. So let's just go ahead and place a trade for starters. So I'll just go ahead and buy market. I know it's after hours here, so we'll just see what happens when I do this. Okay, and it gets me into the trade. So I'm using micros because I'm going to demonstrate for you guys some position sizing things. Anyways, now that I'm in the trade, we can see that we have the target and the stop orders. So we can move these, click, move, click. At all times we can see how big our target is. So right now I've got a 12.75 point profit target with a 10-point stop loss. And we can also split the stops. So let's say I want to split the stop orders. Well, there's only one stop in this case, but we can see either combine them or split them. And then we can cancel orders here or here. We can also attach an order, which is what I'll discuss in a little bit. But this is just an improved display, and I'll be adding more features to this. I want to be able to see, the amount of currency on each order as well, and some things like that. So this is a great product, but also a work in progress. So I'll close that. We'll take a look at the profit and loss display. So the profit and loss display, you've got two displays, right? In the panel itself and on the chart. So you can click both of these displays to toggle between ticks, points, or dollars. So let's say, me for instance, I like to see actually dollars down here, and up here I like to see points. So I'm not too focused on dollars unless I want to see it, then I would look down here on the chart. So I can see points in the panel right now and dollars in the, oh wow, this is actually a live trade. Didn't even know that. Okay. So I can see dollars down here and points right here. So now, let's try and get out of this thing. Anyways, as soon as I'm filled and out of this thing, I'll show you guys. In fact, I'll just hit the close button. Doesn't really matter. I can see my profit and loss without commissions. I can also click this to see it with commissions. And then I can see, and then I can also hide it. So that's a toggle without commissions, with commissions, and hide. So yeah, I had one big contract trade today, made 34 points on one trade. One contract of the NASDAQ earlier today on a long trade. And as I'm humbly bragging about my winning trade, I wanted to show you guys, I scrolled back on the chart here, wanted to show you guys the executions feature. So this is also in the process of being built, but you can see the button right here. I hate the way NinjaTrader displays the executions, quite frankly, so I'm going to build my own display that's also included with these essential chart trader tools. So the executions display right now, all it does, you can see the arrows, you can see the line in between, and you can also see the amount of time that you were in the trade. I think this is phenomenal. So I was in this trade for 15 minutes and 22 seconds. Right now you can't see anything else, so you could say, this is not as useful as NinjaTrader's trade display, but coming soon, right? I'm gonna make it so you can hover your mouse over these arrows to see the trade details. You know, the chart gets really cluttered, right? If you're showing every single execution the way that NinjaTrader does by default, it's showing the quantity, the price, things that really don't even matter ultimately, and you can't even hardly use it without cluttering your chart. So gonna rebuild, or gonna build a custom executions display. That's also something that we're working on as a team. So continuing on, you can also attach orders to indicator plots. So this is a standard feature of Ninja, but we've built it to make it a lot easier, right? So with one click here, I can hover my mouse over a plot, any of these plots, and the order will be attached. So if I click here, now I can see the order is attached to the 50 EMA. I can hover my mouse and look, and it reads 50 EMA. And I can also then automatically change the offset. So let's say I want to tighten the order or move it away. I can do that from the plot. If I move the order off of the plot, it cancels the attachment functionality automatically. And then I can reattach it. I can also just unattach it by hitting the A button. Back and forth. So you see how the plot does highlight when it is actually attached. This here is a 20 EMA off the 5-minute chart, actually. So that is attaching orders to indicator plots, and that's for any order like a profit target, a stop loss, etc. So moving on, I can also attach orders to the high and low of the previous bar. Right now I don't have that feature turned on, but you can do it. So like probably useful for Renko or range bars in that case if you want to trail up and you want to get in when it breaks the low of a previous bar or the high of the previous bar. Click entry orders. So obviously this is the main way to place orders. On the standard chart trader, you right click to place orders. Here you're just going to do a 2-click routine. So it'd be buy. Obviously if you're above the market, it's a buy stop. Below the market, it's going to be a buy limit in this case. Vice versa, sell. Move around. Now it's worth noting if you don't want, so like let's say you're going to move an order and attach it. If you don't want these orders to be snapping to the plots, you can turn that off right here. So I turn that off. Now I'm moving up and down without the attachment, you know, without it trying to attach to a plot or snap to a plot. So that's the click entry. There's also a 1-click entry. If you look over here on the right side or the left side, I can turn that on. Now I can, if I move my mouse right here, it automatically pops up and I'm placing orders. So that can be useful to place multiple orders at a time. Let's say I want to do a sell, 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 sell. Now I've got 5 orders pending to, I'll turn the planning off for now, to sell. And I can just close all those orders with 1 click here as well. So that's the click entry orders. Position sizing, this is what I think is one of the coolest things about this panel. Again, so I've got it set to 10 contracts right now. My maximum size is also set to 10. So we'll see an example, like let's say that I would sell, I'll just place a sell order. Turn plan on. Now I can see my plan. So I'm risking $160. Right now my live account happens to be right around 10 grand. So as I adjust this percent, you can see what's happening is it's adjusting the number of contracts. So if I want to risk, you know, 1.5% of my account, I'm going to be trading 7 micros to risk $140 on this trade. As I change my ATM, the quantity is going to change. I'm going to go ahead and go in the settings right now, and I will change the max contract setting. So if I scroll down here to position sizing, I can set the max to 50 lots. Let's go ahead and do that. Okay, now I can change between, turn sizing back on, I can change to dollars. So let's say that I want to do $400, $500. it's automatically then set up to trade 25 micros. You can see it adjusting here in the panel. You can also change the increment amount in this. Right now it's going by $100, but you can change that. Toggle here, you toggle between dollars and percent. Say I want to risk 2.5% of my account. It's going to be 12 lots of micros. So that's your basic overview of position size. You can turn it on and off at any time. If you adjust the contracts here, it's going to automatically turn it off because it's assuming that you want to override what it was doing. And then if you turn it back on, you can see how it snaps back to 12. Now it's not updating this order. This is a real resting order. It's not updating this order quantity live. That's something I plan to add. But if you can actually plan a trade. Like if you want to plan a trade just on the last price, you can do that if you're going market. Or the plan can be attached to a pending limit or stop order. So, yeah, bear with me as this is a work in progress, but man, it's coming along nice. So as I said, you can set the max contracts. You've got your last price display. That's just a basic display right here, where you're showing the last traded price. It's the gold line. Nothing crazy, but also helpful. You've got the market depth display. So if I turn that on, now I'm seeing the market depth. This actually needs to be buttoned up to adjust horizontally based on the amount of space. But you can see here that it's not adjusting the width of those lines. So ideally, yeah, well, not ideally, it's going to have to adjust the height of those based on your chart scaling. So that's market depth. The bar counter is huge, so that's built into this. If I go into the settings, I had it turned off when I started recording this, so we'll just turn it back on right here. And then we'll hit OK. So bar counter is, in my opinion, something, and of course it's not gonna, oh, there it is. There's the seconds countdown. So bar counter is important for every chart, right? Whether it's range, Renko, minute, tick, volume, it just kind of tells you how much time or how much, I guess, how much of a unit is left in a bar, right? And so this is automatically built in because to me it's a chart trading thing, right? If you're trading on the chart, you need to be able to see when's the bar going to close, what's going on, what stats do I have about the current bar, things like that. So that's why I built that in as a standard feature for this Essential Chart Trading Tools, is a universal bar timer that can be enabled and disabled. Now this, I have some more ideas about how to display this, maybe as a progress bar or something like that, but I will add that to my list, or have it in my list of development features. So the bar counter is key. Again, some trade management features. You can actually hide or show the account right here. So if I want to not see the account that I'm dealing with, I would just click on this and it's going to hide the account. Break-even button. So I'm going to go back to Sim here, just because there's no sense in losing money getting in and out of trades. So if I'm in a trade here, I can use the break-even button. So right here is the break-even button. There's one right here, right next to this close button on the position display on the chart. So if I hit break-even right now, it's dropping the target down. Because you can actually go to break even if you're currently down in the trade or if you're up in the trade, right? So if you're down in the trade, your break even would be moving your target down. If you're up in a trade, your break even would be moving your stop. So the indicator is automatically going to move the appropriate one, target or stop, when you click the button. You can also optionally disable order entry placement if an ATM strategy is set to none. So that can be a safety thing, right? Because how many times have we placed trades and we get a trade on and we're like, oh man, I don't have my target, my stop in. So enabling that feature, it's not enabled right now, but it will prevent you from placing a trade if this is set to none. So it's going to force you to select an ATM before placing a trade. So yeah, these buttons are customizable. The market buttons are pretty self-explanatory. Limit is just getting you in, for a buy, it's going to get you in at the ask. For a sell, it's going to get you in at the bid. And then these buttons are customizable. So this limit 2 buttons is saying I want to get a 2-tick better fill. So you'll see if I hit this limit sell, I'm getting a limit order in. I'm not filled immediately because the market has to come back up 2 ticks from the bid price to actually fill me short. And obviously with buy and sell click, you can toggle here. So like, let's say I do want to use like MIT orders. I would just hit MIT. Now I'm buying MIT instead of buying limit. Same thing with stop or stop limit. I can use a stop limit order if this is set to stop limit. And then obviously you can adjust your offset here for the stop limit orders. So one of the things I know I need to add is the ability to OCO. So that button's going to go in right here, and that's going to allow you to place bracket orders, OCO. I also have another module that's a bracket, but there's cases where you may want to do some manual OCO entries. So that will be a feature that's added as well. So that pretty much covers the essential tools. I'm just going to go through the settings real quickly just to show you what's going on in here. So in here we have the order panel display settings, the order flag settings, pretty self-explanatory. You can also turn the bid and ask display on and off, which you see right here on the panel. Market depth display, last price display settings. There's your bar counter settings. You've also got some profit and loss display customization settings, like if you want to turn off the break-even button. If you don't use that, that's a possibility. ATM Strategy Planning. Again, this is in the beginning stages, going to be a huge tool to be able to see, your plan before you get into a trade. Here's your position sizing section of settings as well. Trade management, you do have a reverse button option. I have it off. I don't use reverse button, but that can be in there. It goes right up here next to close all. There's a move all exits button, 1 click to move a bunch of exits. So if you get in several trades, you've got like 4 profit targets or whatever, that's a great feature to move them all at once. Here's the require ATM strategy that I was just talking about. A bunch of settings for the attach to indicator feature, and then the 1-click entry orders, mostly visual stuff here. Your market entry orders button, your limit entry orders button set 1 and button set 2. These are all the modules that you can purchase separately. I'll cover those in separate videos, but there's modules to expand this with more entry order features. And then of course at the bottom, the chart buttons, you can customize the way that those look. That'd be the chart buttons on the left side. So that's a complete overview. Appreciate you guys making it all the way through this. I'd love to earn your business, and I would encourage you to also check out the other modules as well. And then if you see this as a valuable tool that you would purchase, then the professional chart trader tools, which includes these essential tools plus all the other modules. So huge variety of ways to manage your trades, to get into the market, and then after you're in, to manage your exits as well. Fantastic. We'll probably re-record this soon, but for now, that's what we've got. It's a complete overview of this product, so I hope you enjoy it. Definitely reach out. Bottom right corner of the website, there's a help button. If you have any questions, we'd love to hear from you. Thanks, guys.